Hey guys, this is Segeth with Frontlinetactic, and I'm showing you guys some more Kenshi play. Going over some of the patch notes that just dropped this morning. Version 0.99.5 just hit the experimental patch. Those of you guys that don't know how to reach the experimental patch, that is, you right-click on your Kenshi in your Steam tab, and you go to Properties, select the Betas tab, and then pick the experimental option. It sometimes takes a few seconds or minutes, depends on your internet connection, to download any of the updates and patches. I've never had more than like 2 or 3 minutes max at some of the larger loads, but usually about 30-40 seconds. One of the first big things that I'm going to discuss about the new patch is he updated the RTWSM shadow system. I'm not quite sure what that alphabet soup stands for, but the shadows look smoother, and they don't just shit-can my machine at the moment. As you can see, you can actually make out the windmills. As my mouse totally glitches out right now. Zoomed out a lot. Actually make out the windmill shapes. Now, if you get into it, it still looks a little fuzzy. I actually blame that more on my rig than I do on any coding or things that he has done. Just because. Truck was doing nothing. Go run off, truck. Go do a job. So yeah, while I go over patch notes, I will be kind of micromanaging my my team here. Let's see here. Okay. So, big thing, shadows look smoother. Let's see if we can find a person. Kenshi we have working. So, you actually have like full character shadows as well, and it goes along with day and night cycle. It looks really good. Looks a lot better than it did previously for me. So I'm kind of happy that he's optimizing the engine a little bit more, so it doesn't suck for those of us that have not as good of rigs as everyone else. He also fixed some random crashes that were going on with some corrupt save files. So those of you guys that have older files or older saves that you potentially, quote, lost but didn't delete, you'll possibly be able to load those back up again and find some of your old characters. Again, he continued to optimize some of the pathing system, which I'm stoked with because, well, the pathing system a lot of times has been an issue with combat and things like that. So it has been optimized a bit more, so you don't have to worry about as many issues, I guess, or more direct pathing. There's been a lot of dialogue changes as well as communication with certain individuals. A lot of these individuals in the patch notes, which I'll put in the list below. I'm not going to go through all of it because it's pretty extensive. It just, I don't see the... I've not met many of these characters, so I'm not going to comment on them, and some of them may be a spoiler for those that have experienced them or not experienced them. He also changed the bounty relations gained from Holy Nation Inquisitors. You can now still get a relation increase slightly, even if you're getting paid. So, I've not dealt with much of the Holy Nation in the regard of payment or things like that. So, I was not aware that they would occasionally not pay you. Or give you reputation if you accepted payment. I was not aware of that. Changed enemy faction relations penalty for certain alliances. This means that you shouldn't get armies marching on your base simply for allying with a faction, unless you murdered a bunch of their friends. So they're still reactionary. They're still will come after you if you have done such murder sprees. But just because you make friends, that doesn't mean you're going to lose reputation with other groups. Base is pretty self-sufficient at this point. Unless I need something, I just kind of let them do their own thing. balance some of the Holy Nation's assault reputations. Those of you guys that like to play more of the Holy Empire angle of the pious, the Holy Flame is now able to be gotten in a lot of the territory's bars, so you should be a lot... Those that want to infiltrate the Holy Nation, or those that want to play the Holy Nation roleplay, it's going to be a lot easier because the book of Okrin is going to be a lot more open to get. More dialogue changes. This is interesting. Added armor trader to ally skin bandits. Found them in the headquarters, or HQ. So, I didn't realize that you can ally with the skin bandits. I ran into them not too long ago. They're down in the 4th quarter. They are terrifying. I'm not going to go into more spoilers about that for those of you that have not experienced them, but I was not prepared for them. That was a very... the word I want to look for. Humbling? I thought my Explorer team was pretty badass until I ran into them. And then it's just been going downhill from there with my Explorer team, which they are all in bad shape. Let's go over there real quick. I'll just kind of show that real quick as this loads up as we talk about a couple more of the patch notes. Changed some of the United Cities world states, added extra allies in the United Cities campaigns, added ally United City bodyguards. Savants can now give you certain unnecessary machine blueprints, which I'm not sure on those. Yeah, loaded me funny on the ridge. So yeah, those of you guys, this is, I'm just going to give you this glimpse of the 4th quarter. That is not snow, that is ash. That's a decent bit of a spoiler. Translations, so change the text so it's more of a readable text, as well as did some more Japanese updates for the language. So that's what's going on so far. Oh, another neat thing that I noticed with this patch this morning was when you pause the game, the ash stops as well. And I'm assuming the rain stops as well, and the wind will stop as well. Because I noticed when you would pause the game, the world wouldn't pause. Just all the players would. All the characters, all the monsters, all the critters, all the NPCs. They would freeze frame. But the world would still, the wind would blow, the grass would sway, the water would flow or ripple, the rain would fall, the ash would fall. But this is cool now that it seems to literally freeze the world. Another thing I found, let's see if I can show you, it was in options. Under gameplay, there we go. No, it's under general. Show damage floating. So my previous post, I showed that they changed the info, and that was simple. Previously, it was simple info where it would just show like boom, hit for 10 damage. Now, under full info, it'll show you strength, or it'll show you certain damage modifiers as well as the location that it hits. I like that a lot, so I'm going to keep full info on. So, I'm going to close that out. And apparently, a cat is on the counter when it's not supposed to. Lovely. Anyways, so that's pretty much it of what I wanted to show you. I might do some 4th quarter mission stuff. I might not. I know there's a lot of people that have been keeping kind of... Here and there's been some posts on Reddit and things like that have been talking about the 4th quarter, but for the most part, they've not been in sharing, which I really like. Let's go put Jewel on the bed next, just because it was kind of an adventure to basically Jewel. It was kind of an adventure and kind of back to the roots of like everything's new and scary. Like it's actually been kind of stressful lately. Like I said, I've engineered these guys to be pretty badass. I thought their stats were good until I got out here, and I was kind of told what was up. Also, keep in mind, guys, I've been finding more patterns in some of the cities, so go back to exploring if you like to explore. I like to sit pretty sedentary and just venture out every once in a while, but look for more patterns. I found more armor patterns. I found more schematics, things like that. One of the things I really like is I found Unholy Armor, which is the Holy Nation armor, but black. And so it allows you to wear essentially Paladin, or make your own Paladins without aligning with the Holy Nation, or still have that level of gear. So I'm going to be playing around with some of that heavy armor type soon. And I'm still playing around with some of the armor typing with the new changes that he did to the stat line and the skills and things like that. So I might be actually leaning towards more light armor versus medium armor now, just because some of the dodge mechanics and things like that are going into it. And really get picky with the light versus medium armor mix. Chainmail shirts are looking not as good, but we'll see as I continue experimenting. Well, guys, that's it for me. I think I've rambled on enough. I will post the patch notes and the link in the info below. If you like what you heard, if you want to hear more Kenshi updates and things like that, please like and subscribe. Alright, guys, that's it for me. Stay safe on the front line.